Oh, what kind of dance moves can we come up every time? I swear.
Hey, if only we had a collection of all of those little snippets. I'm sure somewhere in StreamYard they save that so that you can have that somewhere. So what's happening, guys? We are back for another Wednesday night show. We got something interesting, controversial. Not like seriously controversial.
Well, most people will fall into one of the categories we're going to talk about.
Oh, so. No doubt. I like to think that I fall into both of them, but I don't. But I like to think that I do, but I really don't, and that's okay. That's okay with it. So, anyways, guys, hope everybody has been having a good week. We spent the day at the beach today, so that's why I'm all tan and. I don't know if you can see. I got my sunglasses, white line on the side of
that raccoon look.
That's right. That's right. Well, I do have the. Unlike Eric, I already have the top of my Jeep completely removed because, it's a lot warmer down here. So, but hopefully everybody's having a great week and being able to get some gaming stuff in. And I think we got kind of an interesting topic to talk about because I actually, when this topic came up. When I was thinking about it, I told Eric, I said, I have actually struggled with this topic myself for a while. And I occasionally I'm like, I'm strong. I am an oak. I can resist things. And then, reality happens and I realize I'm me and I can't resist any of those things. So anyway. That is my story. Well, what you been working on anyway, Eric? What's on your desk? And what's happening, Todd? Todd's already here. Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
Todd. Well, I am continuing to work on D&D stuff, trying to prep and get ready. Trying to scrounge minis and maps and terrain. And I pretty much got notes written. I may go back and tweak some of them because the other day I was thinking in the car about, one of the points in the notes, and it's like, well, you know what? I kind of left that vague at that point. I might have to go back in there and kind of flesh it out. Otherwise, I'll have to do it on the spot type of thing.
Don't worry, your murder hobos will change all of your notes for you.
Probably.
And Tyler jumped on, said, "What's up, Mac and Eric? What's happening?"
Hey, hello, Tyler.
Oh, look, everybody's showing up now. We got Alder, hello, and Wild West Exodus fame, we have the mighty Todd. Another Todd. Let's see how many Todds we can
get. Todd 1 and Todd 2.
That's right. Todd 1, Todd 2. Todd 1, Todd 2.
Here's a coffee toast to.
There you go.
To our friends on the other side of the world there.
There you go. You're having your morning coffee. We're having
morning
coffee.
Hey, we got matching cups too tonight.
How about that? Go figure, right? Go figure. If we'd really planned it, we could have matching shirts and everything. We'd get you a little shorter on the haircut there and we'd have matching hairdos. So anyway, what is it we're going to talk about tonight, Eric?
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about collector of all games or focus only on a couple games. So kind of basically it's like, do you get, is it better to collect a bunch of games for the sheer joy of it? Like you mentioned to me the other day, you're jack of all trade gamers, right. You're kind of, you got your fingers in every little game system out there just because you love them all. You just like playing games. Or the other side of the coin is, do you focus on just a few that you really, really love for one reason or another? And we'll get into that as we kind of start breaking these down. So,
and to be fair, I started as the second type. I played 40K. And as I was moving out of 40K, I got into first edition Wild West Exodus, and that was pretty much all I played. It was just first edition Wild West Exodus. Once I, kind of slowly fizzled out of 40K, I didn't just cut and run. I slowly got rid of stuff, and I just didn't like the bigger army setup. But so
I don't see myself as in particularly one or the other. I'm kind of like in that middle ground. Because it's like, I do get a lot of games, whether it's board games or RPG games or whatever. And I am, I'll admit, not great at a lot of them, but I can play because I like playing them. You know? But then again, I am kind of focused on certain games. Like I like getting particular genre of games,
right?
or
Zombies for you.
Yeah, if it's got zombies in it, I'll buy it. I don't care what the mechanics are. I don't
Right.
care who it's made by. Very rarely do I care what it even looks like. You know, I know it's got that theme that I'm going to enjoy it. So it's kind of a safe bet for me.
See, I would initially have said that I'm a sucker for a good story. So because that's like Wild West Exodus got me that way. Twisted got me that way. The Drowned Earth got me that way.
Yep.
But that's not the only thing, because I thought about that. I really put some thought into it. And you got stuff like Burrows and Badgers and Twilight, The Chronicles of Anural. I didn't know anything about the stories of either one of those before I got into them. It was the models in both of those. Now, to be fair, with Twilight, it was like the most unique rule system that I had seen. And, you know, for everybody that's listening, you're probably in the same boat as me, where you play your skirmish games and somebody goes, "Hey, I have this game that doesn't have dice." And you go, "Oh, how dare you create such a monstrosity?" But it was still really good. So I sadly must hang my head in shame and say that I just like it all. I
could see that. You're kind of, I think, as you've gotten older, and maybe I can say this too about myself. As I gotten older, I like it all too. I mean, I do have my particulars, but it doesn't stop me from getting everything.
Well, one of the things that I think about in regards to like focusing on a couple games is, if you're focused on a couple games, you can get everything done, especially if you're like we had talked about before, if you're a completionist. So if you're a completionist and you play 50 different games, you're hosed. You're never going to be able to fill that little psychological niche you have of completing everything. But if you just play a couple of games, you can do that. I'm reading the comments too.
I know. I gotta give a shout out to Craig. Hey, Spaz, for the Great White North. So we're international again today.
Okay, we are. Alder's here too. So we're everywhere. We were in Japan. Yes, Todd, you have. Hello, my name is Todd, and I have a problem.
He's in the right group. In the right group. And then the other Todd said he's running out of space for stuff. And I do feel that pain with getting everything. Yeah.
And so this is on that same vein of like getting everything painted. I know a few guys that are, they're maybe just a couple games or one specific game. And a lot of 40K guys are like that. And you can bash 40K guys all you want and go, "Oh, I can't get them to play anything else." But if you think about how much stuff they have to buy, and being just focused on, 40K, that's still a lot to do. Mm-hmm. So I've seen guys that have that focus, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit jealous when they're like, I have everything painted. I'm like, well, me too. Everything on that shelf is painted.
That shelf,
but not, not that one. So
it's almost like the guys that focus, they zero in on that stuff. It's almost like it whatever game system it is, and Warhammer's probably a big one for this. And even like I hear this term in Magic the Gathering a lot. It's a lifestyle game. Okay. So you not only get into the game, but you get in about if there's fan fiction or stories written about in that world. So you really get dug in deep in that game system, that world or theme that's around the game.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So as I say, that's kind of a neat thing that you can really engross yourself into that world and really get a lot out of it.
Oh, absolutely. You can really pour a lot into it. Now, Tyler just said something, and I really like this. He said he tried to scale down COVID wrecking everybody and being difficult to play much of anything, so lost some passion. And I think that's what happens too. You can lose some of that passion because you're kind of scattered all over the place. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience here, you kind of lose a little bit of that motivation. Now, the flip side of that coin, though, is for some people need to like keep moving on. It's got to be the next thing, just because that's their personality style. They're starters of things. You see them like in our church environment or in your work environment. You see them. They're the one that, bam, they start the project. But if you leave it with them, they're going to lose interest. So they just keep starting projects. But that's something pretty big too. And then Todd, we're gonna number them now. This is Todd 1. Todd P said he just boxed up 185 board games.
He sent me a picture of that, and I was just like, "Oh, that's a beautiful thing."
And then he went and bought 5 more.
Oh no!
He had to kind of flip that over in there. And then we got a good one here from Alder too. Used to collect and play mini games over the years. Big cull a few years ago, and a break from gaming. And now I think this is a crucial word that Alder put in there. He said he's sticking to a handful of skirmish games currently. We know what that means, Alder. We know what that means.
It just means some bug hasn't bit him yet about a new shiny hot game out there.
Right, exactly. And then Craig said he's got his whole Age of Sigmar army painted. Todd R. loathe having pretty painted models hidden in the closet. 4 IKEA glass towers and a 5x6 4-shelf display full of painted minis.
I gotta get some more of those glass towers myself, Todd, because I got like little cabinets. I got at Michael's, the drawer cabinets, and those are kind of like the project ones. Yeah. And then I got boxes from the different times I've moved of foam holding all the Warhammer stuff that I don't know where to put right now.
Yeah, and well, Tyler and Alder both touched on this about enjoying the painting and the modeling more with that smaller scale. And I actually, that really resonates with me, because when I discovered Twisted, not when I discovered it in my addiction as models for a different game. But when I discovered the actual game, I went in and it's like, except for the Drowned Earth, I wasn't doing anything else. I was just doing Twisted. And in the process of me doing that, that's where, if you look back in the Facebook group, that's where I've done all that stuff, where I've created characters, all these fantastic Grimm's fairy tales and Mother Goose characters, and the 3 Little Pigs, Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket, and Gulliver and Gulliver's Travels, and the Lilliputians, all of this stuff. And just like we were saying, I just poured every ounce of my creativity into that. Boards, ideas, games, just all kinds of stuff. So there's a really, really cool thing about focusing in like that. And I've seen the word cull come up a couple of times, and I want to say one thing about that. It's just so hard.
I don't think I've ever done it myself.
I do it with terrain all the time, but I build terrain like it's going out of style. Yeah. But it's like I've gotten rid of miniatures before, whole armies, and I regret getting rid of them. Not so much that I was still playing the game, but that I had them, that they were painted. It was like a completed army. And so I'm super hesitant now to cull my models. Although I did cull some stuff, because I don't really care for the more modernistic stuff. Mm-hmm. So that was easier for me to go, okay, I got this stuff. It's all painted, but I'm kind of ready to go. I can be done with that. I know you don't cull. Go ahead, run with it.
I don't think I ever have. I mean, for a while I was thinking about doing that with the old fantasy Warhammer stuff, because I had armies that I got as prizes. I got the big old army boxes of Chaos, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This was a prize I won. Right. But I was like, what am I going to do with it? And I put it all together and painted it just for the joy of that part of the hobby. And I still have it. But now that I put all that work and paint and enjoy doing it, it's like, I don't think I can get rid of it now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of where I am right now. I'm actually in the process of psyching myself out or up. I'm not sure which word there is appropriate. I'm not sure if I'm psyching myself out or up, but to cull some stuff to kind of tone down. Like I got rid of a whole bunch of sci-fi terrain that I had built because I was like,
yeah,
there's cool games that I really like. There's Zone Raiders, there's Core Space, there's all of this cool stuff. But I'm just not really going to play it. I'm way more likely to throw Zombicide Invader on the board as a board.
Yeah, it's almost like
as a board game.
It's almost like if you want to do a particular genre, like a sci-fi, you kind of have, and you have a bunch of them. Well, you're kind of one of those games is getting left out. Yeah. So it's like you kind of are forced to, okay, I'm just going to maybe just keep this one. So if I feel like a sci-fi, well, this will be my sci-fi go-to.
Yeah. We got some, I'm going to throw some comments up here.
Okay.
Too. We got a IKEA pro tip. This one's probably going to be for you there, Eric. They'll have extra shelves for the towers for the broken kits. Sweet. I've been looking at those too. Oh, look at that. Todd making me feel all nice and warm inside. He said, Mac, your WWX boards were so cool. I still have them all. Every single Wild West Exodus board I still have. So they still are cool. I did have to change up the Carnival one though, because I didn't like how the big top turned out. So there is a new big top coming. That's a fact.
I'm laughing at Alder's comment.
Oh no.
He said this is like therapy group session every week. That's right.
That's right.
This is hobby support.
That's right. That's right. Maybe it shouldn't be Indie Invasion shorts. We should have some sort of therapy name for it. But the other thing too is Todd says he doesn't miss his Flames of War bolt action stuff. But yeah, see, I'm just not sure, but I am trying to cull some stuff. But I'm the kind of guy. See, I won't sell my stuff.
Yeah, you like passing it on for somebody else to enjoy.
Yes, I will give it to someone else.
And I like Tyler's comment here. He could easily find himself just becoming more of a hobbyist than a gamer. And in truth, a lot of the stuff that I do get, because I get everything, is for that hobby aspect. Yeah. It's like I really don't have like some games much of an interest in playing it, whether it's just because my area, I don't have other people that probably would be interested in this game. But I love the miniatures.
Yes.
So I want to build them and have fun with that part of the hobby. And like one of the comments I put in our note, when we're talking about all games, variety is the spice of life, right?
It is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's that positive side to that too. And Tyler said, don't shoot him for that. You know what? That's the great thing about this hobby though, is you have people that they just want to put an army on the board and play. Mm-hmm. And so, they show up with maybe a quarter painted army and people are like, I don't know why you don't paint your army. Well, maybe it's because that's just not the part of the hobby that they enjoy. Yeah. The flip side of that is that guy needs to find somebody that just wants to do the painting. They hook up, you know what I mean? There's just so many different parts of the hobby. And Craig, instead of an AA meeting, this is an II meeting. We need little patches. We need little patches, man. That's what we need now. And Todd said, I did the swamp with the glass. Yes, that was me. I used the plexiglass and did the big swamp board. That looks awesome. I love using that one. I do a couple different boards with that. I use that in Twisted, Drowned Earth. It's usually when I'm going for something real eye candy. And actually, the best thing about that board is the last time I set it up and played a game on it, I actually raised it up a lot higher than I normally do. I normally would only raise it up maybe 6 or 7 inches, but I raised it up about 12 inches from the bottom board. And I did that because we were playing Deep Wars and Shadow Sea by Antimatter Games. And you can go in the water and fight on the land. So when you went in the water, we were still moving underneath the board under the water. So it was super cool. It was lots of fun. It was lots of fun.
All right. So here I had a couple points I wanted to touch on for why just a few. I'll just rattle through them real quick and we can talk about them. So why a few? Well, a few can be cheaper in some way. You're not spending your money at a on a bunch of different systems. You can really get good at just one game, so you can be an ambassador for that game.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Many people do that. They are doing demos at the game stores or at the cons. And then we mentioned this, you can get super engrossed in the world or the theme. So it's like that lifestyle game, like I mentioned. Some examples, we already mentioned Games Workshop with their Warhammer. And a lot of people, they get into just that because of the models. They kind of look at it as nothing compares to it.
Yeah, I mean, and you whether you love or hate GW, man, they make some nice looking models.
And then we did mention like the genre, like mentioned I like zombies or westerns. I know Todd number 2 here, he loves westerns, so if it's got that theme in it, he's more likely going to get it, and I'm right there with you. Cthulhu, people love Cthulhu. Look at all the Cthulhu games. There's a reason, because there's people that are junky.
Junky. Seems like we may have talked about that disease.
Yes. But that's not a bad thing. That's what you're into. I mean, that's just like people that read a certain book. Maybe somebody loves Tom Clancy and they just read Tom Clancy or Stephen King. It's the same concept. You're a fan of that particular thing. And then also particular to a certain type of game. Maybe you just like role-playing games and that's all you're getting. Or maybe you like mini games, and that could be whether you like playing the game or, like we mentioned, the hobby aspect.
Yeah. And for, for the people out there going, well, you didn't defend having lots of games. There's a lot of good reasons to have those too. Like, for instance, if anybody shows up at my house and hasn't played something, I can show them. I've got a little bit. I got a little bit of everything. It's like, oh, I don't really like Cthulhu. No problem. We don't have to play Mythos. You want to play Wild West Exodus? No, I don't like Westerns either. Okay. Do you like post-apocalyptic?
Exactly.
What kind of post-apocalyptic do you like? Do you like 1,000 years after the event? Do you like 5 minutes after the event? Do you like space stuff? What do you want to play? I got it. You know what I mean? So there's advantages. And one of the things that kind of keeps me in the multi game club, I guess, is that because I like to world build and story write, all those games have models and all of the, and I'll pull them over and cross them over. There you go. You got wolves.
Example.
Yeah. You got wolves from Zombicide. You've got D&D wolves, dire wolves. And so, it's being able to go over to your mini drawer and go, oh, you know what? I need this. There's something kind of satisfying about being the guy, and probably everyone who is in the comment section will understand what I'm about to say. And if you out there in listening land understand, just wherever you are, just give me a thumbs up. There's something sort of gratifying about having a buddy over and they go, oh man, I forgot my model. I have something that'll work. Hang on a second. And then you bring 4 over and you go, which one would you like? I've got them in multiple colors.
So does that mean I could say, thank you, Kickstarter? Because that's where I'm digging half of these minis out,
Sure, absolutely. You can say thank you to Kickstarter. And Kickstarter is more than happy for you to say thank you. I promise you that.
Spaz, I do have Gaslands. I've played it a couple times, and I do have all those little. I got some. I had Adepticon. I got some set by Ray Gun, Death Ray Gun designs, and it was like a kit that included like Lexan pieces for all their expansions in their rule book.
All the movement templates, the flag tokens.
But I got a bunch of little zombies. He's talking about the one scenario for that. So I know. That's why I got it.
and then of course Eric and I did not help ourselves in any way. One day we decided, hey, we should do a podcast about independent game developers. Well, to be fair, I mean, we can't give a decent review of an independent game if we don't have the book and if we don't read the rules and maybe try it out a little bit. So we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that one.
Yeah. Oh, look at this one, Mac. Look at this one. And then he's, look at this one. Check this. You need this one.
But it's justified. See my air quotes there, justified, because we're doing it for the show.
Yeah.
We're doing it for the show, man. Come on. It's not for my own personal desire to own that really awesome
right there.
That's right. That is the support group right there. Look, I am so bad about the games. I'm just going to come clean. It's confession time. I got a book over on the shelf. I got models waiting to be painted. And the game, you can't. You got to find stuff on eBay. Alder will probably know this because I know that this game was popular down where he is Heldorado.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Heldorado. I've got that. And Peter Overton of Demented Games, he was a big Heldorado guy. Tyler said, "Have we tried new Billion Suns yet?" No, I have not tried it yet.
I haven't seen it actually out yet. So.
No, I don't. I want to say it was August. I don't remember though. I was looking for it. It's Gas Lands in Space, basically.
I gotta stop reading comments because it just makes me start giggling.
I think Todd's trying to make us laugh now because he said we're such givers to the community.
That's what we're about. We're givers.
That's why I buy rule books from Australia and New Zealand and the UK and everywhere else that I can possibly find them. So yes, we're kind and loving fellas like that. That's what we're just trying to expand the gaming universe one game at a time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Todd's over there getting rid of 185 of them. Come on, Todd, get your game together. This is an II meeting.
How
are we looking on time? About time to wrap it?
So we got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
If you guys had any quick questions before we go ahead and wrap it up, but I mean, I think that kind of covers our subject for tonight, guys. I don't know if we solved anything. I don't even know if we classified each other because I came out from the start and said I'm right in the middle. I like both.
Yeah. You know what? I think I may have been inspired by this wonderful therapy group to maybe cull a little bit because I've been on the fence. I'll walk over and I'll look and I'm like, this. But see, the problem is I go over and I look at my terrain. And I go, no, that's good for Wild West Exodus, Twisted, and the Drowned Earth. So that's covering 3 games. So I can't get rid of that. If I can find something that's just good for 1 game, nope.
See, I just get a bigger house so I have more room.
I already did that.
You got a whole basement, so you should be good.
I got a whole basement, and my wife was even so kind as she said when we were house shopping 2 years ago. She said, we need to make sure it's got a space for you to have all your stuff. I said, okay, I'll start looking on Zillow right now.
Yeah.
So did we pre-order Stargrave? No, I did not. And the only reason I didn't is I like Frostgrave. I played it a couple of times, but I knew after I played it, it wasn't going to be a go-to game for me.
I know. I looked into it a bit because our friend of the show, Jim, I think he did a video not too long ago on his channel, Tabletop Engineer.
Yep.
And he was comparing Stargrave to Frostgrave and kind of went over the differences. And I know he's going in, deep on both of them. I've just looked at, Frostgrave, and I've started looking into Stargrave, but I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think have to get on the table and actually see if it would stick with me too.
I will probably get the book. Because I love to have the books, and sometimes I'll just sit downstairs and I'll thumb through rule books.
Todd, you just need to set it on fire.
That's right.
And then just get that insurance money.
Right. Todd said he dreaded moving at all with all the stuff. I know. I just did it too, Todd. And let me tell you, the people in my local community were so happy because I was like, this got some terrain has got to go. Some stuff has got to go. So that was good. And not my blimp though. I had to keep my blimp. I have an 8-foot long MDF blimp.
No, you can't get rid of that.
Can't get rid of that. It's too awesome. So anyway, I think it's your turn to take us out, sir.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining us for another short bite-sized episode of Indie Invasion Shorts that we do every Wednesday. And you can find our regular podcast over on Podbean, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, Spotify, Pocket Cast. Any place you can find a podcast, we are there. And please check out us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Join in some of the conversations going on there. Give us a like, subscribe, follow. It really helps, get the Indie Invasion out there for everybody to kind of see what's going on in the independent gaming and, help support those independent game developers. And if you guys had any questions or comments, feel free to email us at indieinvasion@gmail.com. And you can find links to all these places, whether it's the Facebook Discord, which is starting to get some traction and get some good conversations going. Head over to our website. CoastalCon website is www.coastaltex.com. I had to think about the text part. But we got all the links over there to help you guys find out where we're putting stuff and talking about gaming support for everybody out there.
Yes.
And feel free to check us out on Patreon. We have a bunch of content that we put up on there that some of it's exclusive just to Patreon, but you guys can go there, check it out. You don't have to throw any money at us, but if you would like to, we would really appreciate the support. It helps us kind of do what we're doing and chit chat about all these cool games,
and buy all those rule books,
and be the as we call collector of all games. Right. No,
the group therapy leaders for your weekly II meeting.
Yes. I'm gonna sit down and design a patch for that.
You totally need to do that. We need
put the idea in there.
That's right.
But listen, guys, that's all for tonight. We hope to see you guys back next week when we do another episode. And remember, when you're out there, to prepare yourself for the invasion. Bye, guys.